mission?
All right, come on in, guys. Everybody get behind me.
Please don't.
Everyone gets behind me.
Yes.
You brought 30 people to the studio.
Yeah, you know, it's 30 less than I wanted to, but you got to make it do.
God. Are you okay? Are you okay? Dude, are you okay?
Everybody.
Oh, no. He's panicking, bro. He's hyperventilating. Are you okay? We're good.
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
This is the You Are Here podcast, episode 46 of the podcast. My name is Mike. I am your host. I'm asserting my dominance, all right, Dave? So be quiet, all right?
We just talked about
Right.
that. Pop
Right.
it.
Find a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, YouTube with the video, Castbox, Earworm. We're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
www.youareherepodcast.co. We cannot afford the M. Damn, we're in it. We got Alex Bonner in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much
Dave,
for having me.
what's going on?
What's going on, dude?
How's everyone feeling?
I feel good. I just don't want to speak unless I'm spoken to.
Well,
at
I'm gonna
this
speak
point.
to
I
you.
want to defer.
You're allowed to speak now.
All right, good. Jeez, I just want to make sure the power is where it needs to live.
Power's on our side still.
All right,
We're not
great.
letting you. We're going to give you a little bit of it right
I like
now.
to collaborate. I'm sending the energies.
I feel it. It's coming slow.
The bridge is.
How you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, I feel happy to be here. I'm glad I'm still alive. We slowly crept into this murder warehouse that I'm still waiting for the piano to fall on my head and
Yeah.
take me out.
That happens after.
Oh, all right. You get the content and then you just sit.
That's it. We never saw Alex again. He just did the podcast and that was it.
Yeah, it's good. Dave's wearing my coat.
Oh, really?
It's just, that's nice, dude.
The first thing I said to you today was, "That's a really nice coat." Imagine I just started wearing Alex's fucking coat and he disappeared. That's so funny.
See you later.
I got a bone to pick.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We're gonna start from a real place.
Bonner to pick.
Ooh.
Is it, how we pronounce the last
Oh,
name?
it's Bonner.
Dude,
It's
you
Bonner.
gotta be our actual PR guy.
I want
Dude,
you-
I'm ready.
I want you to be the PR guy.
Yeah.
You want in?
Let's talk. I do want in.
Okay.
I went to school for this, actually, to a small degree. So I went to the University of Miami. I majored in finance.
Miami.
I grew up there.
The U?
What?
The U.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all about the U, baby.
It's all about
We
the
got to
U.
talk about that.
Yeah.
We got to grow up in Miami.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
a
know.
weird place.
It is.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Really?
So don't skip over. Don't skip
Whoa,
over.
okay,
this.
okay.
You went to college in Miami.
I went to college in Miami. I wanted to get into finance because I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I graduated majoring in management, minoring in finance and marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you end up in the city? Is what I want to know.
That was always the play.
It was.
Yeah.
Really?
So after school, I was going to come up and figure out what sounded like the best idea, whether it would be finance or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then senior year, I had a buddy who was in the film program. He asked me to do a scene for their directing actors course. And I was like, oh, this was okay. I like this a lot. And then I decided, New York is not the worst place to be for that.
Yeah.
So I came up anyway.
Yeah.
Was there a hesitance on your part to be like, once you had the first experience in your college, you get to the city and you're like, oh, I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, this is what I assume. You're like, oh, it's a good place to be for acting, like you just said.
Yeah.
Was there hesitance to go all in on it? Or were you like, well, I'm doing it?
I mean, I think I still have that hesitance. That's a lot. We can talk about that too.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
There's always hesitance to go all in because people talk about it to you in the context of taking a risk, and it never really felt like a risk. I just didn't really want to do anything.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's like, oh man, it's like, are you going to make it? Is it going to work out? And this, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm here and I'm doing it now, which is cool. I'm
Yes.
thankful for it.
Yeah. And you're good at it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
I've been
it.
lucky to see Alex work up close and personal. And that's why I have a bone to pick with you, and I want to start here.
All right.
A couple, I'd say probably beginning of the year, maybe springtime.
Yep.
I'm just chilling. I don't even know what I was doing. I was probably at the gym or something, just playing basketball, whatever. I don't know. Eating lasagna. Who knows what I was doing? But this is what I have a problem with. I got a message from Ariel. Shout out Ariel Pacheco. That our friend here, my good friend Alex, just was doing something, and I was tagged in it. Okay. So I look at it and I'm like, what's going on here? What is this? and it was an impersonation of me. And so,
Oh my God. It could have been so many things. I was so nervous. Like, what are you about to say?
and so I want to know, like, where did that? What was the birth of that impersonation? You were the first person to ever do that. I'd never seen anyone impersonate me. Like, never.
That's hilarious.
So I was wondering, can we get a sample of it?
Yes.
And what did you use?
I'll pick a place to start. So I think the first place
curious.
is that we have such a colorful group of people in our community, which is great, and things that stick out tremendously, which I'm very thankful for.
Me too.
The most dangerous question, I think, maybe not in the world, but one of them is like, can you do your impersonation of me to me?
To me?
And it's like your butthole just goes. Like the quick answer is absolutely not.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
I think it came out of like, so you had a lot of things coming together that you wanted to put up at the West, and so you were coming in, and I would see you on these days where I wouldn't expect you.
Yeah.
Like you came in for your bachelor party, which was amazing.
Yeah.
You and all your friends.
Yeah.
And it was a conversation about Dave being like the nicest guy in the world, the beacon of positivity, like every corner. And now I'm gonna do it. It became this,
You gotta do it.
it's just like, it's like, man, you just gotta live, and I know that that I know what we're talking about, because you gotta do what's right for you until we get to the place. Like sometimes that stuff just like, and it hits you. Yeah. And
That's so good. Wow. Dude, that's exactly it.
It's so excited.
And it hits you.
It's so passionate.
Oh, wow.
And you kind of don't know what you're talking about right up until the end, because it could be about anything.
Dude,
and nothing.
Your job at life just got taken, man.
Dude.
Wow.
And then it comes back around, and it's the most profound things, and it leaves me on like the verge of tears, where I'm like, thank God I have this human being to talk to.
Wow.
Because it's so nice.
I love that. That was amazing.
I can't fucking breathe.
No, dude.
That was so good.
It's
so good,
Dave,
dude.
he like cornered me one night, and he was just like, we got to support each other until we get to the place that we want to go.
I meant that.
I know you did, and I'll never forget that. And now I say it to people, and they ask me, they're like, dude, thank you so much for doing this. And I'm like, we got to support each other until we get to the place we want to go. And that's
I fucking believe that.
for every story I have, somebody else has 10.
Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
of that?
of something. Maybe they can't do it in that way, but like you touch people
Dude, for
in a
sure.
very
About that. Thank
wholesome
you,
way.
man.
That pause was like exactly it. That was
You're
it.
very good at impersonations, man.
That was amazing.
That's
Are you like an
funny.
actor?
You know. And we're here.
I'm never gonna do this. I'm never pounding my chest with my hand.
That's
again.
why you don't
I'm
do
never
it.
Fucking
Show
pausing.
these people.
Even if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not pausing. I'm fucking rolling through it.
No.
It's so funny.
That was amazing.
Oh
You-
holy
shit.
shit.
I can't do the podcast anymore.
No,
guys.
you have to. It's
Yeah.
so good. There's so
Okay.
many people. Nick Craven.
Nick Craven.
Nick Craven.
You want to get a Nick Craven?
I could do a Nick Craven.
Okay.
Has he been on yet?
Oh yeah, he's been
Yeah,
on twice. He's
dude.
been on, yeah.
Nick Craven is what a nice, incredible, interesting
I love
guy.
my boy Nick.
He's
dude.
so good.
Shout out Nicky Craven.
Shout
I
out to
love
Nick
you, dude. He's
Craven.
about to do it in person.
You gotta say some nice words.
I
before.
did it to. I did.
Do you want
it
me to lead
Nick.
you in?
No, it's hard. So
got
this
it.
is a different one because with you got to get in the frame of mind. With Nick, a lot of it is this. So it starts from here.
You gotta show the camera.
You gotta
right?
find.
You're showing the chest
it's
hair.
where This
Okay.
is listen to it on your audio, but also see it. So you come down with the chest, and then hang on.
Pull
Can
this
I do
shirt down. Yeah, go ahead. You can adjust.
You gotta do the whole thing. Where like the chest comes out,
Chest
a
is
bit,
out. Yeah.
and then it's like
You're leaning with one leg. Yeah. Going back and forth. Your chest is out.
And I'm so sorry to all the people who are just listening to this, but like you have to. It's not a word
Gotta
thing.
watch
It's
it.
so-
I can't even
I
describe
could
that.
literally put a picture of him doing that right next to you.
It's all these the idiosyncrasy, like it's all these small things that we just share with each other, and then I started doing it in life, and I love it. He's just a talented guy.
He is a talented guy.
He's himself, and you are yourself.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
love that.
That was good. Do you have one more in the wheelhouse that we know?
You know what I love about Ariel?
Yes.
Ariel, like Ariel's someone who gesticulates a lot. So it's always like the Ariel hand thing where he just goes, I don't know, we do this. That's all. It's just kind of like flailing of like the wrist, and it's just like, we'll do it. And then just kind of always breaks off from it. Okay. It's like, yeah, whatever. Like the person, like maybe he beat me in basketball, but if we had 10 more minutes.
And Nick's back here doing this thing.
But I beat you. God. Damn. I'm going to catch so much heat after this.
Oh, God.
I'm going to relocate.
I'm so self-conscious after you did that.
No, I know, and that's why you don't.
But it's not... I'll forget, but it was just fucking... I guess that's so spot
You'll
on.
be fine. Dude.
That was close.
That was amazing.
That was what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's what I do.
But it's a good...
Gotta own it.
Sometimes I wonder, like I think about that. Because everyone has their little thing.
Everyone.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You do too.
I fall asleep before everything.
You do. You fall
And I snore.
And you snore.
That's my thing. All right? That's my thing. And I'm going to own it.
Dude,
Just own it.
When we were on set, he slept in the same room as I did.
Yeah.
On this like bed.
I got to put that video next to the...
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And the audio, because
Yeah.
awful.
We can post that. And he's, we wrapped like kind of whatever. It was late, long fucking day.
Yep.
It's the end of the night, and we're all tired. We got to be up at like 4:30 tomorrow, next morning. This happens every fucking podcast.
Keep going,
If you are sleeping,
Keep going.
can you do PR? Can you get in on this?
Yeah.
Can you right the ship?
I
Because we're
thought it
sinking
was like
right
the
now.
Willy Wonka, like this whole room is an elevator kind of thing. We're just going to the third floor.
We are 30 floors up, right?
Yeah.
No, so we're sleep. I'm sleeping, and I wake up. I think it's like 2 a.m, dude. And I hear like in the dream I was having, it was as if there was like a wall was coming down on a fucking like brick house, like scratching. And I was like, oh my God, like in my dream, I was like, the house is gonna collapse, dude. Something's gonna collapse. And I wake up and spoiler alert, Carl's sleeping next to me in the bed. There's a king size, but we were close. And
you don't gotta say.
but we were close. So I roll over and I'm like, I was like, do you ever feel like if you wake up in like at an unreasonable time that you get very angry?
I always wake up at unreasonable times. My sleep schedule is garbage for like 3 or 4 years. I'm the worst person in the morning. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I used to wake up as a kid, and side note, I used to wake up as a kid and like punch myself in the head if it was like a time I didn't like. I was so enraged as a kid, like waking up at the wrong time and not being able to fall back asleep,
Sure.
or like having a crazy thought, like I don't know, it's just wild. But I had this like rage, this fucking rage came up in me, and I looked at Carl and I was like, if you keep snoring, and I couldn't, it wasn't coming from Carl, and so I'm like, who the fuck else? And I forgot where I was. And I look over and I see Mike on this bed, like assed out. His face is like facing me, and he's like, like in the middle of the deadest sleep. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! Wow. Your snore was crazy. I thought he was like dying. I thought he was gonna die.
No,
I had a thought like his airways clogged.
Yeah,
you gotta get that checked,
dude. It happens to people, man. They
I'm worried about
because,
you,
like,
dude.
Sleep apnea. And
Literally,
stuff
like that. Like after we wrapped, like after I went home and everything, and I was alone. I was like, let me like try to imitate this. I'm just going like I'm trying. I can't do it,
dude.
So I must be literally not breathing.
You were. It would go. You go.
It's like a tree slowly
And
falling
like
down.
30 seconds would pass, and I'm like, is he okay? And I went to get up, and you're like, again, and I was like, he's all right, I guess.
Oh my God.
But I was so close to getting up and just like shaking him the fuck away.
Should have
Yeah.
been.
Stay awake
Should've just
while I
slapped
sleep. But yeah, we gotta get that under control, dude. You need to go to the doctor.
All right.
Dude, get a sleep study.
Sleep study.
Too many fights, dude.
Too many.
You've been in too many
broken noses
scraps.
and
Tell us about one of your scrap stories when you had a.
Scrap story? I have had zero.
I wanted you to make one up. Dude. Have you ever been any fights, any street fight, anything that you?
No, and I'm thankful not to be in street
yeah,
fights.
yeah.
My dad used to say that. Oh, please.
I remembered actually. I was in a scrap. I'm sorry.
Talk.
All right, you
No,
go.
no. My dad used to always say like fights end in 2 places, jail or the hospital.
absolutely.
Say you fight your dad. I was like, oh shit.
My dad's like, punch him in the
dude.
face before he punches you. That was our
Punch me in the
advice.
face.
But I did martial arts when I was growing up.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I did Taekwondo for like 10 years.
I did karate, yeah.
Did you really? Yeah. Maybe shy 10 years, but a little bit of Muay Thai and some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Whoa. So you
Yeah.
could handle
Oh,
yourself, dude.
I feel okay.
What? See, I was just talking to.
Get on the mats.
I was talking to Adam about this. Shout out Adam and Eric. I was like, dude, if I'm ever in a scrap, I'm not trained.
Yeah.
I want to be like trained, and I started picking up boxing a bit, but I want to be trained.
Yep.
So I at least know like I have a like if I need to.
Yeah.
I know I could do one thing pretty well.
You can move, but it's, you know, what's crazy about that is like, aside from the training, whatever you end up, it's all about will, which is a terrifying thing. It's like in those contexts, I think it's the will to want to hurt someone or to protect yourself when people end up fighting. And like,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
You don't have that killer. Yeah, I don't think I mean,
I don't want to.
No.
But the like, as like a martial art, like it's a beautiful thing. I loved it. I had so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
God, I remember in high school being like terrified of like there used to be fights all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would happen right in front of you out of nowhere. And it'd be like, oh, fuck, dude, I really don't want to get in a fight. Please. Like, just praying that it would never happen to me.
Right.
It used to terrify me, that thought.
Dude, my town was notorious for like recorded fights.
See?
That were like, there's
Like
this place
World
called
Star?
Kind of.
Okay.
Like I think one of them was actually on it.
Oh, wow.
But there's this place behind our high school called The Rock, and like it's literally just a rock like on top of like a little hill, and it's like on the way from the school. That's where everyone goes to like Quick Check, get some like lunch. But like one day I forgot like who it was. I'm gonna out them right now. But
You're going to jail.
I remember that like I remember the video everyone was showing. You can probably find it on YouTube. But dude, it was like a circle of like 50 kids, and there's this like these 2 chicks fighting, and one of them was like all tatted up and shit. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. Not cool.
Yeah, but anyway, so when I was a kid,
Oh, yeah.
when I was a kid, I used to live in Richfield Park, right? And
Shout out Richfield Park.
on my street, I had like a couple like, you know, back in the day, you had like neighbors. You know what I mean?
I have neighbors now.
But like you have neighbors that you talk to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You go knock on a neighbor's door, they had kids, like you hang out with the kids.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Much more close.
Now you're not going to knock on someone's door.
Yeah. It's very,
You know what I mean?
It's pretty rare.
So like I had a couple of friends on the block that I would hang out with, and then there was one bully kid at the end. His name's Mike. He had my name, right?
Yeah.
And for no reason, he just punched me.
In the face?
Yeah.
Oh.
For like no reason.
Did you snap?
Maybe he thought you
No.
were his name.
You kept it cool?
My heart snapped and I cried. And that's my first fight.
Fuck. You just got punched in the face.
Yeah. And he was like older and everything. It's like, man, what the fuck? He
I used to cry
didn't even
a
give me a
lot.
chance.
I used to cry when I get into it.
Yeah.
Any kind of fight. Like
Sure.
afterward, I'd fucking cry so bad.
It's like you feel, especially if you get in those like certain predicaments. Like I've shouted at people, you know what I mean? You start getting up to that point where you think you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
But I always get to that point where like I'm about to fucking do something, but I'm like I have all this energy, I'm gonna fucking let it out. But then I'm like, what if I try to do anything? It's just like, no,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You stop yourself.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's an intimate moment.
Yeah.
Terribly
It's
intimate moment.
incredibly intimate.
I don't want to hurt someone.
Yeah.
No, that's always, it's always like it's like you have a ton of rage and a ton of like I shake. I'm like, and I can't
Yeah.
hear anything. And I'm like, okay, I know that's the place where like it will happen.
Right.
But it's the after or the as it's happening that like a flash of like empathy will hit, and I'll be like, oh no, man, I didn't want to
Right.
hurt. I don't want to hurt nobody.
Sure.
And immediately, because it's so intimate.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's so that's why you look at these like UFC fighters and you're like, how can you just pulverize somebody? Like, put them down and fucking destroy
Yeah.
a face. I can't wrap my head around it sometimes.
Dude, my brother just said, I forgot who it was. But he was getting interviewed after a fight, and he was saying like they were talking about how like he's known as like one of the fucking most savage like heavyweights.
Yeah.
And he would just like destroy people.
Yeah.
And like they were interviewing him about like how does he feel like coming from like where he did and to where he is now. How does he feel about like, you know, when he sees like fans or something that like look up to him and stuff like that. And he's like, I like fought my whole life. Like he's like, I'm not happy like from what my like accomplishments.
Whoa.
He's like I fought because like I had to.
Yeah.
This is all I had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
he doesn't feel like successful or like, you You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make him happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like he's just fucked up.
Yeah.
His whole life. You know what I mean? With his family and everything.
From
Yeah, and he was like, it's crazy that I have like people and fans that are like, I love watching you fight and stuff like this.
Right.
And he doesn't know how to feel about it.
Right.
It's fucking crazy.
If you don't like the thing you're doing, but
Yeah.
people love you for the thing that you don't like that you're doing.
Yeah.
I think everyone's just trying to make themselves whole in some
Yep.
way. It's
Yeah.
everyone's like indemnity in it. And I think about that in the context of like being an artist and wanting to be successful. Nobody wants to be unsuccessful, but you know, am I doing this because I love it and really good, or am I trying to make something that I feel like I didn't have?
Yeah.
You know, you hear about these people who like these like underdog stories where it's like, I had this tragedy, this terrible upbringing, this thing I had to overcome, and in overcoming it, like, you know, Olympian, a hero, like this crazy thing.
It's like a hero's journey type
Exactly.
of thing. Right?
And then you think like, do you need the terrible thing to get to the amazing thing at the end
Oh,
of
I
it?
love this.
And I wonder, you know,
Yeah.
if you can
me
just,
too.
if everything is just the way that we like it should go, or like it's really nice, if you ever get that way, or you're just content,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
I feel like, have you had that feeling before too?
What specific?
Of
feeling?
like some of the like people I think that we look most. I feel like we talked about this on like previous podcasts.
I just
too.
wrote this fucking down. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Like we look up to a lot of people that have like these problems and these things they overcome.
Right.
And I think like we are drawn to that because it shows like someone's, you know, like them becoming like getting over something bigger than themselves. You know what I mean? And like obviously we find great like, I don't know, like inspiration from those things.
Right.
But sometimes like we don't really, you know, we're not in the same circumstance. Like when we talk about Honey Boy,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How we're trying to like relate to it and stuff. It's like I couldn't
We
really
were just talking about that before.
like I don't know.
Relating to.
Yeah.
We take ownership.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe like my message isn't as important because I haven't gone through all this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's scary. That's
Yeah.
scary to I get it though. I this is a cool conversation, I think, because it's like specifically for artistry, I feel there's like there is that stigma, right? Or
I
this,
think so.
The story that's being told.
The suffering, you know,
The suffering,
does the
yeah.
suffering precede the art? Is it necessary to suffer?
What do you
Yep.
think?
I thought about it earlier today. I think there can be amazing things born out of that kind of suffering.
Out of like pain?
Out of pain. I now think whether we want it or not, it ends up being a necessary thing that we just run into. And it's how we handle it. But like I think the idea of the tortured artist as a whole, like for anyone, it's unsustainable. You burn out. You hear about these incredible talents who just, they end up burning out. And to do it in a way where you want to have a career, God forbid, and like, you know, get paid for it and be consistent and show up and work, like you can't. You have to take care of yourself.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Like one big thing that I think, because I really like rap and hip hop music and stuff and like producing and stuff like that. And I mean like just recently Juice WRLD passed.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Kid's like 21, rest in peace, man. It's like, and this whole year, like the amount of young people, like young artists, you know what I mean, that are like on the top of everything. Like they fall victim to like the darkness inside them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to end up like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Same. I know.
And I think essentially that we have to realize that's not what makes them.
No, that's the thing you have to worry about. You have to watch out for.
People think that their
yeah,
suffering, their unhappiness is what makes them creative.
Yes.
And they're
Yes.
afraid of stepping
Yes.
away from
Yes.
it. But I think it's safer to continue to be sad than it is to allow yourself to be happy.
Yeah.
Then you have something to be taken away from you. And that ends up being so much more of a vulnerable place to be, to really ride on the side of like, not that things are going to work out, but I'm enjoying them right now.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
It's crazy.
That's it.
I came across this thing when I was doing Lord, where like I had to what my character was going through was the breaking of his spine
Right.
every night. So I was, at first I'm working towards that, and I'm like, all right, you got to lose the thing you love the most every night, the thing that drives you in life, the thing that keeps you upright.
Yep.
And so I try to get there every night, and like by night 4, you're like, I can't fucking do this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just I was working from a place of like, when you lose it, this is what it looks like, this is what it feels like, this is pain, like feel the pain. And then this thought came over me when I was like kind of in a more peaceful place, and I was letting go of the work a bit and just saying like, what's gonna be is gonna be.
Right.
The idea came over me of like, well, what would it be like to have? And it was just the other side of the coin, and it was like, well, we'll try to work from there. And I said, okay. So just on my everyday, that was my work. My job was to get to a place of having bountiful whatever.
Yeah.
And that brought much more joy to the work and the process and kept me sane,
Yeah.
by night 15, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what night I saw you do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, but it was beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Dude.
Yeah. There was so much of a feast of being able to go back and forth at any moment. Like, whenever you wanted to check in on Dave was doing something, despite on what the play says in terms of where your eyes should be. This is what's happening. This person is saying this, and the focal point ends up being that. But it was just like, it was like a living painting in certain moments where you could just go back and forth and take all of this stuff, which I think is amazing.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I wanted to speak towards this. I mean, like, I don't think I'm trying to have a career in this thing. I want the long haul.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy doing it. So I don't want to burn out.
Right.
And I feel like the way I was working was very much a burnout place. Like, this thing could just fucking end in like a year. And like, I'll just be, there was a point where I was just like, is it worth this shit?
Yeah.
Because the real life is being fucking destroyed for the imaginative life and the artistry. And it just, I wasn't gonna not going the pain route.
Yeah. I think we undervalue how good we can be at rebuilding.
Yes.
It's a very painful game of Jenga, this kind of thing. We build it up, we learn the words, we attach ourselves to it, we personalize it. It ends up being so like, all right, I have this thing that I have to do and it's going to be so good. Mm-hmm. And then you send it out the fucking window and you like let it all go. And then you have to show up and do it in front of people. And then you realize that like you can go back and forth. You can do it, build it, let it go, and you can do it again. And you keep going back into the woods.
Yeah.
And that's why we do it. And I get in a way where I think about that too. Do I want to do this for the long haul?
Yeah.
Do I enjoy the process nearly as much as they say that I should?
Yes.
It has to be, you're already here, If you kill it tomorrow, like, Mr. Butthole producer calls you up and is like, we're going to give you $100 million to make this movie. And like, you go, you do it. Everybody loves it. You end up on red carpets and stuff. Like it doesn't change the work. The work is the same as doing like dinky plays in a dinky room. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change.
It doesn't change, but there's something about it where it's like, I can rebuild and then invite someone to feel this. Your honesty opens up like an artery for somebody else to feel something.
Yes.
And it's unsettling and not everybody wants that. But like, holy shit, what a beautiful thing.
Yeah. When it is happening, you're like,
when it's happening,
when you're seeing it moving other people, what a service. It truly is.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I love it.
I do too.
I talk about this all fucking day. I wanted to talk to you about something. Oh, so I'm talking about the process and everything. I don't want to like ask you questions about your process, but I am curious about like how the experience of Stay Inside. I mean, Stay Inside came out. Shout out Ricardo Burgos.
Yeah.
Our boy was in it, the lead, one of the leads.
Hell yeah.
And it was awesome.
Thank you.
You did great work.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Big fan of yours, actually. I think your work is. I don't know. I just see a lot of great work that you do. I never really seen, even when you're doing like repetition or an activity, I'm like, I just admire your work.
I admire yours.
Thanks. Dude.
And I have a lot of really good people around to try and look up to.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful, especially like, we're at the close of the year. I'm trying to look back at, where we come from.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah. And not be like, I've done nothing.
I like that. I like that.
But I have a ton of growing to do.
Yeah.
And I've done some growing already, but like there's so much more. But Stay Inside Please was really cool. I was thankful to get the call. And, it was one of those things. Like Ricardo was so organized about it.
Good.
It's like moving parts. Everybody was there. It was like a big boy thing.
Yeah.
And then just go.
Yeah.
Do the
That's
work.
how I felt for your film. Yeah, same thing.
Mikey was on was sound for our film.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
Super fun.
Big-
I love that.
big
Yeah,
boy
yeah.
stuff.
Everything felt like it was just moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you run into any conflict in the moment? Things that you didn't anticipate. Obviously, there's going to be things you don't anticipate. We don't have to get into it.
No. I want to. Ricardo sucks. He's the worst. Ricardo, I was so impressed with Ricardo. This like being there on the day and watching him
Watching him work.
Yeah,
yeah,
I really
yeah.
think like Ricardo is someone who has a lot of conviction.
He
and
sure does.
I've been talking about it with people in terms of I think conviction being a skill set. You know, something that you can start to condition and,
Yes.
and it fills the gaps in certain things where it moves you along. And I think Ricardo has a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think there was a great lesson for me on one of the days where it's just like, just relax and it'll come to you. And it's that simple stuff
Yes,
where like I
yes.
just tried to relax and then have it come and then do what we're trying to do. And
Ariel was he asked us, shout out Ariel again.
Yeah.
He asked, what did you learn from filming after you wrapped? So would that be one thing?
that's a huge thing, man,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just to relax.
Yeah.
To relax and like take the other person in. I think it's so easy to like, running in place, trying to get going. You're trying to stimulate something inside of you. You have all these ideas as to what you want to do, but like it's all this stuff is like, it's a fucking game.
It's a game.
It's a game and it's supposed to be fun. And even if it's like the worst day ever, like my girlfriend cheated on me and all this stuff, like attaching yourself to it and being able to use your truth on top of somebody else's words, like what a privilege,
Yeah.
It's like your diary, just like kind of out there for
It
somebody
is.
to see,
It is. That's beautifully put. Wow. That's really
like
well
that.
put.
which is sick. So why not like take advantage of that and not be so like closed off and I have to get this right and I have to get this and that. And
Yeah.
It's we're doing a crazy thing, man.
Yeah. It is crazy.
It's a crazy thing. There's no nuclear codes. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's just people being good to people.
You know what I learned too, bro? Off this one, this last. Are you gonna some questions here?
That's what I was looking for. But we'll wait. It'll come back around.
Cool.
Slide into it.
Yeah.
So what I took away this time specifically was like I like to prepare. Like I like to be really, really, really prepared.
Yeah.
So that when I get there, I can let go. Otherwise, I'm very afraid.
Good for you.
I don't know. It's my only way to be sane.
Yeah.
Going into this insane thing.
Yep.
So I prepared whatever. And usually, like I'll even on set in the past, like I've been very just I have to be working 24/7. I have to be constantly drudging up what I'm going through in the moment, taking what's around me, and like filling things out, and don't take a breath. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for me not to be doing that. Yeah. But at this time around, I feel like I was able to kind of step back.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, and enjoy the ride a bit more.
Good.
And it filled me in the work.
Yeah.
And that was the first. So I let my hands go a little bit. I let go of this fucking death grip I had on my work, and like in between stuff, I was able to kind of interact, and in between setups and stuff, I was able to really relax and be present with whoever was there in the moment.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. I just enjoyed working with everybody.
Yeah. And
I learned that like you have to make room for magic, like to happen.
It's a rain dance, dude.
I mean,
it's
truly.
a rain dance. And it's like the gap between a rain dance, magic, creating these conditions, but like you also have your fucking shot list and you have your day. Like you have to get this thing. So you can't just wait for it to show up. But it's the balance between the work and then letting it go.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff has to be trained. And it's definitely something that you don't train in the classroom.
No.
You talk about it, and I'm very thankful for being in classrooms where there's been an emphasis on that.
Yeah.
But you'll never get the type of training unless you're out with whoever, like, student film, like two buddies and a camera, writing something, putting it together, showing up on the day to do it, and then letting that work go.
Yeah.
You'll never know what it's like until you have to do it at this time. All right, we're ready for you.
Yeah.
And then have the thing. The consequence makes it so much more meaningful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the entire ride up to it, you'll say, I'm not filled out enough. I'm not prepared enough. What can I do? Like, and that's the natural impulse. Like, can we work harder on this to make it better? But in terms of this, it's an exercise in trust and fuck it. That's any time that I feel like I've made any headway in this, it's an exercise in trust and fuck it. And that's it, you know?
Yeah.
And my answer will change in 5 years, and 10 years, and 20 years.
Will.
And I'll have,
It's always growing.
it has to. And that's the beautiful part about this, is that you're always growing.
You're in a constant state of growth.
You have to be.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Or else you're stagnant.
Yes.
There's always something happening, despite how you feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I have a long way to go,
Yeah.
but I'm thankful for that long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Gratitude.
Gratitude is
That's
attitude.
beautiful. Yes, dude. Man, make a shirt. I want a shirt that says that.
I'm
Gratitude
start making
is attitude.
shirts.
I wanted to ask really quick. Is like,
Yeah.
do you guys ever have any? I don't know. It's like I got this from you talking about all that and saying how it's like ever changing and it's kind of like growing to this thing. Do you guys ever like in the future, like 50 years from now, do you ever want to just have like a craft that you want to like work on?
Yes.
What is it?
Poetry I want to do
Yeah.
when I'm older, for sure. I want to like put out poetry books and stuff.
Yeah.
I also want to be able to like build furniture.
Yeah.
My own
what I
furniture.
wanna do.
I would love to do that.
Like woodworking and shit.
Yeah,
right? That's
woodworking.
me
yeah.
too.
Yeah. Here we go. We
Yeah.
can open up a little fucking
Dude, that'd be
shop.
fucking
I love that. It's very concrete. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see it, and with an ability to be
Yes.
abstract.
Yeah.
The meaning of that
Yeah.
abstract and concrete, I think,
Yeah.
makes people feel really fulfilled, and you have something for it.
Yes.
I'd love to like, you know, like we're trying to make money now. Like we work service. Like
Yeah.
I have the stupid idea, like open a bar, and it's like, no, you don't. What a mistake that is. Don't
I'll
ever-
be your best customer, man.
no,
I'll be there every
well, yeah,
night.
I'm glad, but like,
Why do you
nobody
think it'd be a
opens-
mistake?
It's such a miserable like opening a bar. I think is an exercise in what's going to go wrong next, and like it's, you know, the margins are slim. You're not making money. You're just living to exist, and like it's you still have a bunch of people on the floor, but it's insane. It's insane. Don't open a bar.
Don't open a bar.
Don't open a bar. It's a 365 24-hour job. Man. That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts. But then I think about the other side of it. Like I would want to make scotch or something. I think that,
Oh, yes.
you know,
Yes.
that would be fun. Everybody's like making tequila. The Rock is,
Yeah.
you know, shout out to The Rock.
Shout out to
I know listens to this podcast.
Shout out to Dwayne The Rock
you know.
Johnson.
Send us some tequila.
Clooney. Get in that costume.
Yeah, getting that some amigos. We go to the same person who grays our hair. Strand by strand. It's expensive,
Is it, dude?
but it's worth it.
Yeah. There's something about that that's beautiful. It's majestic, dude. Is you were coming through with wisdom before I say anything to you. You're already smarter than I. You know what I mean?
What an excellent lie.
Me and him
What
together.
an
Me and
excellent lie.
him together. Me and him together. Who do you trust? Who do you trust out of that? Who would you go? Who would you go to for advice?
Y'all kind of look the same.
Yes, dude. Nice.
Who would you go to for advice? Who would you go to for advice? You don't know.
You
me.
look.
You don't know.
It doesn't.
You don't know
that.
what's
That's
going
not
on.
I don't know
what
what's
it does.
going on.
I don't know what's going on.
He's got a nice jacket.
I get.
My
you
shit's
know,
double XL for some reason. I don't know.
I get drunk person at the bar who interrupts me, who's like, "You have great hair," and I'm like,
You do.
"Thank you."
What a compliment.
I know. I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm thankful to have it. Both my parents went gray at 17.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, super gray,
Wow. Wow.
and they color it.
They do.
I have more grays than both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
My
I
dad.
like that you rock it though.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I like that too.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't know.
yours.
It's mine.
Yeah.
When did you go gray?
About 17.
Really?
17, 18. Wow. Yeah, like small little strands. And then by the time I was 23, 24, it was like, oh, there's some gray. And now as it starts to grow out and kind of like wispy on the sides, like it's like there.
Yeah, man.
I kind of like it.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah. Sometimes people will say it though, where it's like, you know, I love your hair.
And then it's
As if it's like somebody would hate it or be upset. And I'm like, okay.
that's what just happened.
This is just
That is what happens.
That's what just happened. I'm just playing.
no. It's I don't think about it ever.
No.
Yeah.
It's yours. You're looking through your own lens, dude.
Yeah, man. That's just what it is.
Ariel had another 7 questions for you, so I'm going to
great.
rattle them off.
Perfect.
What have you worked out within yourself that helps you trust yourself more in your work? You kind of touched on that already,
A little bit, yeah.
but what exactly have you worked out?
I think the fun, is
The
a
real
big part of
personal
that,
shit
yeah.
that you don't want to tell people.
Yeah.
Say it now.
Nobody watches
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Nobody watches this, dude.
This is just for us.
This is for me and Mikey. That's it. This is a conversation.
I think like, and very recently, it's been embracing that ability to, I don't know if it's the ability to commit, but conviction, right? Just to say that, like, everybody knows the person out there who they think might not be as talented or might not have this, or the people that we see on TV. And I hate it because it comes from kind of a negative starting point that ends up there, and they have no internal dialogue with themselves about how unworthy they are to be there. You know, am I good enough? Do I need to do this?
Never comes on their radar.
Never comes on the radar. They're just like, fuck it, I'm there. And it's and you see that and you're just like, what on earth? Like, how can you not? I hate this.
Yes.
And then on the other side, you know, and that's not exclusive, because there are people who are talented who feel however they feel, and they just do, like, you know, independent of the way that they feel or that doubt. And then you get really talented people who are thoughtful, who end up using a portion of that thoughtfulness to just doubt. And they have that constant conflict. Like, I'm not good enough, and like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I haven't prepared enough. And what
Reading my mind right now,
dude, it's in everybody. It's in everybody. Everybody's having that same
talking
thing.
shit about it.
No, but it's what we can grow and build on. You know? It's
no, you're right. It's all about growth.
I think what we undervalue is how much effort and energy that kind of thinking takes. It's not something that happens like just idly, and it's something that happens when we don't focus on it. But it's not something that happens independent of our energy. We spend energy on that kind of like emotional thought.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then we, you know, can effectively waste that energy that we can spend on other things that would close the gap between the I am good enough.
Fucking clip this right now. If you rewind that.
Clip this.
Put the 15 seconds back. Dude.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Energy is being expended that will not close the gap.
It will not.
Going somewhere where it shouldn't fucking go.
And I have such a war with should. You know, no. It's and that's part of what I'm doing now. I think should is the death of is.
Should another T-shirt.
Should is put it on
a sweater.
bro. We're gonna be rich.
Should is the death of is. You are in on this podcast.
I'm in, dude. Bring me anytime.
That's it. He's in. Alex.
I like it. It kills your ability to deal with what's present, and no matter where you are. If you feel super unprepared or like terribly prepared, but something's still not happening, like we're always trying to navigate that gap.
Yep. Yes.
So why not take that effort that we'd otherwise spend on saying we're not good enough into maybe I'm not giving what it costs.
Yes.
But not settling for the mediocrity, or like normalizing some of these things where it's like what you're doing is okay. And it's like the effort is okay. That's fine, but I'm still not where I want to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either manage where you want to go or manage what you're doing now.
Now, is there something to be said about knowing where you want to go?
Yep.
In a healthy way.
Totally.
Knowing where you want to be, not crushing yourself because you're not there yet. I think is the thing that we're talking about now. Like, there's a healthy way to put a place that you want to go to in the future, to work towards. Like, there's got to be a healthy way of doing that for everybody. And I think one of the things I'm realizing this year especially, and on the eve of my 30th birthday coming up in June, I'll be at the West. Woo. Shadow. No. I feel like I've really realized that, like, if I'm not there yet, I am here now. This is what I have. This is what's tangible to me in my life. This is where I'm at.
Right.
That doesn't mean that, like, I'll never be there. It just means, like, what can I be grateful for? How do I find gratitude in where I'm at now? Otherwise, I'm just going to be pissed off because I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
But when I settle into look who's around me. Look where I'm at. I have a football in my hand. We're doing a podcast. I'm with two of my good friends, and we're having a fun conversation together about life. And then I settle into a bit of like it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, dog.
And if you can't do it, just fake it. And it's not even a joke, dude, because there's an amazing thing, and it ties into the work that we do. We're amazingly impressionable.
100%. Believers.
And we are influenced by our surroundings, our conditions, like our environment, the people that we're around, and the thoughts that we entertain. And if we bring in more of the thoughts, like we can turn that kind of success like away from like a very far off thing. You tie a rubber band around it and then you just close the gap. There's a great TED talk. It's called Fake It Till You Become It. by I'm pretty sure her name is Amy Cuddy. If I mess that up, I apologize to her.
Okay.
And everyone
Shout
else.
out Amy Cuddy.
Shout out Amy Cuddy. But just fake it till you become it. Watch it. I don't know. I don't want to butcher her words, but I'm not worried about that so much anymore because all of that doubt will keep you from going where you want to go anyway. So it makes it for naught. So now you've worried and you've got nothing for it. I've never worried myself out of a problem.
No.
At a certain point, I've said, fuck it, and disregarded the worry and then engaged presently. What if we could do more of that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to build into my work now. And it doesn't mean disregarding like authenticity and talent and work and building a craft. You can't really fake all of that. No. But I think we can take pages out of the books of these people who play the game a little bit and just play the game,
Yeah.
Maybe you walk out one day and you really believe like, I'm good. Somebody asks you like, how are you doing? And everybody has the same kind of mundane conversation. I'm good. Everything's good, man. Cool. But like, what if you really look somebody in the face and say like, I'm doing really well. And they're like,
yeah.
That'll change your day. That'll change your day.
It changed your day.
You're bragging. That's what people be thinking. You're bragging.
But that's what we think other people are thinking.
That's right. That's all.
How amazing is that?
That's all in here. Everyone's got their own things going on.
Everything's don't give a shit. They're like, I don't want to sit here. I'm so sorry for bragging, you guys. And there are certain people who might think that way, But why diminish your ability to be, at peace or great or feel good?
Yes.
Just to like sate some small-minded person to be like, wow, dude, fuck you because you're having a good day.
That's, what? That's the other thing I learned this year. The biggest thing I think I'm taking away from this year is I loved since I was a babe, just like I built in these mechanisms to put my attention here and put my attention here. And then I feel really like I feel okay because it's not on myself.
Right.
I can go to the person in front of me and be like, oh, I see so much of this, and I'm in love with this. Like, This is incredible. This is why life is fun.
Right.
For me. It's why it's like livable. But then I do this when I'm alone and I'm like, oh, I don't like a lot of things going on here.
Sure.
And then I attack myself.
Right.
I've learned this year, dude, have compassion and love for yourself.
Yeah.
Find the things that you do enjoy about yourself. Really enjoy your alone time if you have it. Spend time with yourself. Get to know yourself, but in a best friend kind of way.
Treat yourself like a friend.
Totally.
Yeah. It's amazing how hard that becomes.
I catch myself sometimes saying out loud, like if I forgot my headphones at the house before I go to the gym.
Yep.
My natural voice that will come out of me will be like, "You fucking idiot." And I catch myself when I'm about to do that now, whereas I never used to.
Right.
The way I speak to myself isn't very kind, and I'm like changing that.
Right.
Yeah.
The only way I'm gonna be at the end of my life and be like at peace, I feel like, is if I make friends with the man I am and the person I am.
Right now.
If I really love myself.
Yeah.
And that will be in my work, and I'll be in my friendships. I'll be able to give love because I actually feel love for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to live a full fucking life and be at the end of it and be like, I hate myself. You know what I mean? I just don't want to do that. But that I think is the big going into 2020. I feel like that's the thing.
I like how we're going through like this year what we learned. I want to go through. You know what? Fucking.
Ariel asked us that question too. 7 fucking questions.
So one thing I really like fucking realize this year is like 90% of the battles I'm fighting are like about nothing real.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the time we're thinking these things, we're doing these things because of situations or people or whatever, anything.
Yeah.
That if you just say, I'm just going to forget about this, it's 99% of the time not going to do anything to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I've probably thought about the same thing. This is like going back to like, let's say like a relationship or something. I went through like a breakup or something. And I thought about after that thing, I maybe thought about that for like a year and it really like still hurt me for a long time. But then like after I realized I'm literally sulking in nothing. Like there's this I haven't seen this person this amount of time.
Yeah.
There's no point in me thinking about it.
It's a thought.
Yeah. And I'm like, I could easily just stop. I got over it. So what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that goes with like any other thing.
Uh-huh.
So I've been learning to just like let go of like shit bad that happens to me and shit like that.
Good for you.
You know?
Yeah. Yes.
And as I'm like, I'm still a young boy, right?
You're a young buck, dude.
But like as I get a year, especially I felt it this year at Thanksgiving when I'm chilling with the parents.
Oh yeah, you told me.
And we're watching The Irishman. There's the kids running around. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, I'm the only single dude, right? I get it. All right, I'm getting a little older. And I got to start just enjoying. You know what I mean? Instead of just thinking about all the fucking things I could be doing, why not enjoy the moment and whatever I'm doing, be happy that I'm doing it and appreciate everything around.
That's right.
That's what I'm getting.
As often as you can.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up when you can't.
Yeah. And obviously I'm thinking about having goals and everything too. And I think I'm just telling myself like, I'm going to get there when I get there. And everything's going to happen when it happens and it's going to line up. If I keep working, I keep doing it.
That's the balance, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do, you know what I wanted to do? I want to do a vision brochure.
Ooh.
You know? And kind of sell it to myself like a vacation of dreams.
Wow.
They're like vision board and all this stuff. And I want to make a vision brochure.
How is this the first time we had Alex in here?
Dude, you are in.
What is this?
This is it.
Let me
Can you
You should have been
part
like
of
the
this?
third.
Dude, I just want
should
to
have had
be
you 3
around you
times.
more often.
Yeah.
Let's hang.
Seriously.
I'm doing nothing.
I really want to spend time with you because we're having like
right.
I feel better.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
I've had all of this in me for some time. And like I've been like when it comes to the day where I'm here, like we're gonna have a good chat.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm excited.
I can't look you in the eye right now.
Oh my
dude.
God,
I'm
stop
blushing, man.
You
Fuck.
you dog.
I'm gonna check your like schedule when you work. I'm just gonna show up.
Just show up.
I'm a different man then. You got to catch me outside of it. I got the good shoes on. I got the jacket. I'm at the bar. I'm just like, hey, how's it going, guys?
Now I'm gonna be questioning what I say in front of you after that impersonation. Bro. I
No,
gotta
you're
be
out of here,
careful.
dude. That's why you don't do this. That's why you stop.
Gotta
that.
be careful.
Everybody's watching. Everybody knows.
Do you have questions? A question for me specifically, or a question for Mike specifically, or just
I
a
can
question?
find one. You know, I can certainly find
It's like,
one.
are you reverse podcasting
This is when I wrote.
right now?
Yes, I see. I wanted to flip it
What's
on its
going
head.
on?
We've never done this before. I wanted to flip it on its head for once. I never give our homie a chance to ask us
Yeah.
anything. You know,
I don't know.
it could be anything.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I guess moving into the year, like we just spoke about the things that we've reflected on. What are the things that we want to build? What are the things that you want to build into yourself if you had to pick one thing simply next year?
Dude, remember we did this list? I don't know where my list went, dude.
You lost your list.
Lost my list.
We did a little list.
I got to get more organized, dude. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's
anymore.
one thing. There you go.
I don't know what I'm
There
doing.
you go. You knocked it.
One thing I want to build in for myself is
Sure.
what the question. Okay.
You keep thinking, I wanna claim my independence
Oh, from what?
of just like, I'm gonna move out,
Cool.
right? I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna be on my own. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna keep building. I'm gonna keep working on my craft. I'm gonna build up my apartment. I'm gonna build up my studio. I'm gonna build up all these things. And by the end of the year, I'm full creation mode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going all out.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's get it. End of the year. What I want to build into next year is that self-love thing. I want to be able to change the way I speak to myself. If I can, that's the big one. That's the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
I catch it in glimpses and in pockets now where I'm like in a great place and I exercise it and what's good is I'm conscious of it. But moving forward,
that'll never leave you.
Right.
That'll be
Yeah.
an exercise for life, but
Yeah.
you just get better at it and the moves cost you less.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the self-love thing is the way I speak to myself. I just want it to be really, really, because I feel like it's just the most powerful thing. Nothing's going to stop me.
Right.
It's me stopping me every time.
Sure.
What else is stopping me? What else is getting in my way, really? It's me being fearful or beating myself up or stopping myself before I go too far.
Right.
It's every time. And I think that goes for a lot of us. Like, there's no one saying, like, I'm not physically blocking Alex from his goal.
Right.
You can't, I'm not going to let you get there.
Sure.
No. It's you. It's me.
Yeah. And there are certainly enough things out and about in the world that we can't control
Right. The things
that
that are
work
out of
against that anyway.
Absolutely.
A tremendous amount. I think if we become more intimate with that idea, it lessens the necessity to put those, to hold yourself back nearly as much. Like there's a whole big bad world out there
Yes.
that you know, can get in your way from keeping you from doing that shit. why on earth would you like hold yourself back?
Yes.
Like if you think you're, and there's that great quote where it's like, you know, the thing we fear most is not that we're powerless, but that we're like
Powerful beyond measure.
Exactly. We're powerful beyond measure.
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
like bounce around with that thought for a while and realize maybe you're not. And like, there's a shitload out there. So why keep yourself back? And then why deny that light?
Yeah. In our bellies,
yeah.
dude, we're powerful as
Belly,
shit.
dude.
Check this out. I want to have, this is the big one. I want to have, but next year is going to be a faith-based living where I remove as much as I can my fears
Sure.
and instill them with a faith
Okay.
that things will happen
Yeah.
that I have no control over.
Sure. Or at least let them coexist, you know?
Okay.
Sometimes you can't do anything about the fear. Sometimes the fear is there. You can't
Okay.
replace it. But like,
If the fear does come up,
yeah.
I have to have in my belly, in my heart, like I want a sense of faith that like it's gonna go how it's gonna go. It's gonna work out in the long run. I will try to make all of my decisions from, or most of my decisions, not from a fearful place, but from a faithful place.
Cool.
That's what I want.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
Takes the pressure off a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it, man.
Yeah.
And it's not, that's the thing is that I think it's easy to be like, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out somehow.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to work out.
Yeah,
You know, if
yeah,
you have
yeah.
this.
What
like,
is working out? You know what I mean? It's like-
You get real specific about it. Yeah.
And I think that's part of it is becoming more specific about those things.
Yes.
And then making it, it's like be
list,
specific. Yeah. Make the list.
the brochure.
Make the
I like
brochure.
that, the visual brochure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sell
dude.
it to
But then, you know, have that be a guide instead of like a specific blueprint.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Because
That's it.
I think it allows you to balance a bit more between what is and what's immediately in front of you and where you're to go.
This is not going to go according to plan.
Absolutely
No
not.
way.
You know, and if it did, we'd just do that and not care about it. But we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yes.
You know, everybody's just trying to figure out what the future.
Yeah, how
kind of
boring
brings.
would it be if just every single thing you knew?
Oh,
And you're like,
Yeah,
here we go.
that's it.
20, I'm going to get my,
you just win all the
gig.
time.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
we're living in a beautiful time.
We are, dude.
Yeah.
We are. Do you want to check? I don't know if you're getting blown up or not. I just keep seeing you check your phone.
I
Let's
checked
hit
it a
a
few
question.
times.
Let's hit a question.
I got so my brother sent me a question. Shout out to
Ooh, I
Joey
love that.
Bonner.
Joey.
Joey.
He is, and I
Joey
want
in
to
the
I want
house.
to kind of introduce him.
Please.
Yeah.
Please tell me about him. Tell me.
Yes,
Joey
yes.
is the best man that I know. He's an
I love that.
incredible man. He is applying to PhD programs in nutrition.
Beautiful.
He is an amazing connector of people. He really takes you in a very simple way.
Joey.
He's the funniest person I know. He's just so authentic and so good and wholesome. And I think, and he's a leader in that regard.
Yeah.
And people respect him for that.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
proud of
yeah.
him. But he sent me one, and it has a bit of context to it. So he said, in light of the $125,000 banana on the wall. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
No.
So
What is this?
This is it was an art piece, right?
Art Basel's going on in Miami
Yeah.
right now. You know, it's this artistic kind of conference, I guess. They have all these exhibits and stuff. Somebody taped a banana to the wall and charged like $125,000 for it. I don't know. I don't really know the context to this.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, dude, right? Potassium is where it's at. What are your thoughts on how the subjective value, economically and socially, of modern art changed in the last 5 to 10 years? And here's the great thing about this. I have no fucking idea. I don't know. But do you guys see The Square?
No, I haven't.
Dude, I thought The Square was really cool.
Square.
Square was a film about the art world and kind of the ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
The trailer looked incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was absurd. But like, we talk about art,
Yeah.
and you know, for us, it's weird and a little different. We sell an experience. If it's a play, we sell a night.
Yeah.
If it's a movie, we sell an instance, and that's kind of bottled and sold.
Yes.
But paintings and sculptures and all of these things are a bit more finite. You have this, and you kind of go back to it. And how do we ascribe a monetary value that should be like objective in the sense of we've agreed on this price, right? A slice of pizza is $1 because we're willing to pay $1 for the slice of pizza. This painting over here, you could tell me it's worth, you know, $50,000, and I'd be like, oh, cool. you know, and the price of it almost dictates the value in that way.
Yes.
Because, and I think that's a great segue from that question, is that we as individuals, consumers of art, consumers in general, are really bad at ascribing value to things. We just kind of collect and agree to say, this is what this is worth. If it's going to be in a dollar format, if it's going to be in terms of like, it's a claim. I think we're bad at ascribing value.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to add a little bit because in my schooling in college, I took a performance art class. That was kind of required, and I hated it at first. At first, I hated it, but the professor was like very, very strict, and like you couldn't have an absence. An absence was like a letter grade down. Like,
oh wow,
you couldn't be late.
I remember
10-minute break, 3-hour class. Like really, really intense. And in the end, I really started liking the class because it made me like art and understand a little more. And a lot of like as performance art, like I think it really relates to acting and like just any art form.
Sure.
And a lot of the stuff we learned about was very like people would put on like perform like something like a sign in a like in a village, like, and it dates back to, like the 1800s and stuff like that.
Yep.
I remember this, I don't know the exact artist, but he had a sign in like a village, like a very poor village. And it was just a big, just white blank sign with like a marker, like pen on it or paintbrush. And like children would go to that park all the time and like they would like draw stuff.
Oh, wow.
And then like that became the piece for like that town or whatever.
Right. Wow.
You know what I mean? And like, I feel like with the banana thing, I don't really feel like it's really, because that sign thing has like, there's a meaning to it behind it. You know what I mean? It's like the people of this village, the children, they don't have a lot of things they can do, the poor, but they go to this thing and like, it becomes a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The banana thing, maybe there is something behind it. Like maybe there's a point they're trying to make, but from looking at it, you don't really get it.
So here's the follow-up to that. Did you guys see this where the guy ate the banana?
No.
So that's the thing. It either happened, I think it happened yesterday or a few days ago. This other performance artist walks up to the exhibit, takes the banana off of the wall, and just fucking eats it.
Maybe that's what it was then.
Maybe
It's
that's
like
what it was then. And
that could just like disappear.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Right? Now it changes completely.
That's what the director of the gallery said.
It was meant to happen.
That's the idea. The idea of the banana is kind of immortal. It continues to exist.
whoa.
But the banana itself doesn't have to. And there's a part of me that just says, fuck you. Like you can switch the narrative in any way to where it's like, we're just keeping
Wait,
this.
the narrative is that it exists still?
Not the banana doesn't exist, but the idea of the
idea of
banana exists. And it's not about the idea of the art piece.
Yeah, you can take it any direction, though.
You can take any direction you want. And there's another thing to say that like, the idea is more so our inability to say that like what is art and what is not. Like I don't know, I taped a banana to a wall, but it happened in this instance that was so meaningful, like what you're describing, that starts to and just becomes a question like what is art and what is not. If I spill something in a certain light, does that make it become art any more, any less than other art? Do you need this incredible skill to be able to do that? I would hazard a guess to say, yeah, I hope so. Like, but
I think it's just like there's bad movies, there's good movies, there's bad pictures, there's good pictures. Like, but to say that, it's really like, what if that person put in all this time and like effort in this, and it means something to them,
right. But then is everything art? That's not, I mean, it's a wide open question. I don't know how to answer that.
Definitely. I feel like it's safe to say like anyone that's like this means a lot to like when you're trying to. If there's no real meaning, but you're like saying that's the meaning, like obviously I don't fucking believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what happens if it means an incredible amount and it took an incredible amount of effort, an incredible amount of resources, and it produced a dumper. Yeah. And you're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And the person's like, but I worked so hard on this. And it's like, well, it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the one to answer that question.
When you think about it, that's why, like if you think to like traditional style painting and stuff, it's like there's like realism, like all this, shit.
Yeah,
right.
Like, and then it starts becoming more abstract as time goes on.
Right.
And then like with like Picasso and like Cubism and all this shit, it's like you're barely like you're making these shapes that kind of look like something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's becoming the new, like, wow, look at this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When I saw my first Picasso, it was when I went to see Van Gogh.
Dude, when
this
I
year.
went there, man, I think I vibe with Picasso, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I
was like,
every time you
holy
see a picture,
shit.
I mean, when I'd see pictures of
Yeah.
Picasso's work, I'd be in like a
Yeah.
book or something. I'd be
Yeah.
like, this is dumb.
Right.
I don't know why everyone's freaking out. Then you get in front of the thing,
Dude.
and first, I don't know. I was moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was moved.
I
to
saw
this.
that. I was like,
Just
holy
something drew me in. I was
shit.
like, what is happening? And I'm way too inarticulate to figure out what that was in that moment, and I still haven't figured it out. But it did something to me.
I don't
Yeah.
think the art is for the critics. I don't think you
Yeah.
need to sit here
I fucking
and say that, like, you know, oh, this because of that and this and that. Like, I think, and that's, I think that comes back to the what is art. If it moves you in a way, like, that's art, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't put a fucking lock and key on that.
If the banana on the wall moves you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're in a Burger King drive-through and the light hits that, like, that speaker box in a way where you're like, oh my God. A single tear rolls down your eye.
I'm moved, dude.
And you're like, and you kind of get shaken out of it, and the guy's just, do you want a chicken sandwich? Do you want a burger? And fuck it, I don't know. It's fine. Like,
yeah.
that's beautiful. Go
What
home
is
and
art?
go home and journal about that.
Yeah,
know?
dude.
I feel like each of us can think of an art piece right now like that. You know what I mean? Like something
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the Marina Abramovich thing that really moved me was like when she just sat in front of people for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, this is stupid. But then, like, you really, I watched it for a while, and I was like, something about this shit
Yeah.
that's really cool. And for me, it goes back to what we do.
It's powerful. It's the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
The wall seems to be down, and she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
She's gonna look you in the eye, and you're gonna do the same. And then, like, something is happening
Yeah.
between two people.
Part
that
of it
are
is like
strangers.
there's like a weird cognitive dissonance about it being such an important and formalized situation. You waited in line, you probably for a while. You're in a white room with this woman in this ornate dress that's kind of absurd that you couldn't even really walk around in. Like, you're sitting at a table with her and just staring into her eyes as she stares deeply into yours with all of these people around you, and you have to feel something.
Yeah.
At that point, you've created too many conditions to where you couldn't, you know?
I don't know. The art that moves me the most, and maybe this is just what art is to me in general, is the creation of something that makes others and yourself feel less alone. I feel like
Yes.
that's what it's birthed out of.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's what you were saying earlier. Like, you know, have you been reading my diary and stuff like that? Like, we think that there's like a different train of thought happening in other people, but it's often like pretty similar. We experience a lot of the same shit in a different context, in a different circumstance, but we relate. And that's why we get moved by these art pieces, because I think because they get to these like universal truths that aren't, nothing is a universal truth. We don't all experience truth in the same way. It's subjective. Our perception, our reality is based on our perception.
Yeah.
But when it gets close, that's the stuff that Stella Adler used to talk about, right?
Right.
Like, you're not, when you play the mother, you're not just that mother, you're every mother.
Yes.
You know, and that's how people take ownership, and that's how they imprint upon that. And I think that's the art, at least in the theater, that moves you. You know, you see this thing, and it's almost like, what is that, like cold reading, where you have these mediums in a room who's like, and there's I feel this energy around here where it's somebody there's a G and there's an uncle, and somebody raises their hand, Uncle Gary, and it's like, yes, Uncle Gary. That's exactly Uncle Gary, and he was a man. Oh my God, how did you know? And it's all these things where it's like, how could you know that? And it's like, because we're not all that fucking different. And we have a tendency to want to imprint upon these things and give us some closure, as if somebody can tell us how to be. It's nuts, you know?
Yes.
Because it's hard to trust. But
That's why we got to take care of each other, dude. I'm doing my own impersonation. That's why.
you're just living it. And I love that about you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to think about it. That's also why you don't show
till we
people.
make it. I'm never gonna say that,
Dude, I would be
you have
so
to.
upset. Now you have a responsibility.
But now I have to say it. That's gonna be. I gotta
you,
brand
dog.
that. That's
That's
mine.
you. Yeah.
That's you.
Fuck, dude.
That's a shirt right there.
That's a shirt. I need that shirt, dude. Let's take care of each other until we make it.
Yeah.
Forever, whoever's listening right now, that's what we got to
I
do.
love you.
Get your money ready.
Oh, Mike. So Ariel had a question for us. What's something you've learned about yourself since the beginning of the podcast? This whole process.
Wow.
What's something you've learned, dude? Is there more?
I don't know. I'll tell you.
Okay.
No, continue, please.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you got something?
You're Hollywood, bro. You got a lot of messages, dude. You're fucking.
Nope.
People want to talk.
I think something I learned. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about a lot of the battles I'm fighting are just not really. It's not really something happening. I remember in the beginning I was talking about how like I would never like expect myself to do a podcast and do like long form talking and stuff like that. I expect myself to be behind the scenes, you know, like behind the camera or the
I do
audio.
have questions. I figured it out. Sorry, continue. Yeah.
No, but to actually do it, and I always thought of myself before that as like a more like serious, I don't know, like strict kind of person. And I feel like kind of just goofy, whatever.
I was gonna say
I'm figuring out stuff about myself.
That was
basically.
like this.
I don't know what to make it as, but
I feel like you're writing a story for yourself. Like I am the strict.
Yeah.
I am the.
yeah.
Which we all do.
I have a perfect segue
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
into this question. So
She's incredible.
I would like to get to know her more.
Yeah,
Every
me too.
interaction is very quality.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And she asks,
Hell yeah.
what does the word reputation mean to you? Anonymously, or wait, hang on.
Wow.
How do I read the entirety of this fucking question?
Go to.
There you go. You got
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
Oh, great. She said anonymously asking at the end of it, which means she didn't want me to mention who.
I can. I'll cut it out.
Perfect. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bleep it out. Bleep it out. Oh,
I'll cut it out.
we'll clip it. We'll clip it. Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean, we're live. We're live.
We're live here in the studio.
Wow.
Anonymously asking. Then let's circle back.
Let's
and
not
give-
say that person's name.
I'll
Yeah,
put someone. We'll put someone else's name.
Do you want to
Give
clip
a
this
name.
whole part?
Say a name really quick.
Jacob.
Okay.
Well,
I'll just
can,
plug
can we
that
just say it's a person who doesn't want to be known?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
yeah. This is just a person, and we can say the same exact thing.
Oh, we're
to
good.
say this is a person who I've had limited contact with, who is very quality, who I would love to know more.
No, when
But
we
if they
say
see
your
it-
name, when we say when we say the name, I'll just plug in Jacob.
oh, sick.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Jacob.
Perfect. But you know who you are. And
we know who you are.
And we
And we love you.
And I guess we'll just say again, like, what does reputation mean to you? That's how hilarious is that? To go through that entire thing and be like, how do I read this entire question? And then be like, oh, that's what
Anonymous.
that.
Yeah.
I thought it meant like anonymous or not. That's so funny, dude. Can't make that up.
Yeah.
There's so much there.
Reputation, man.
What is What is the word reputation?
What does reputation mean to you? Because there are a lot of applications of that, right? We used to talk about that in school about like what is your brand? What does it mean to be a brand?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and it's they would say like a brand is a promise to someone when they walk into your store and you sell them something. Your brand is a promise. It means this. It means value. It's an amalgamation of all of your values and the things that you espouse, the things that you hold in high regard, and the things that you enact.
Yeah.
And the gap between that.
Yeah.
You know, we say we're the best. This is actually what we do. And we have those perceptions of the brands that we know and the people that we know. We have the friends who say, this is what I do, and this is what they actually do. We have our perception of ourselves. But, you know, reputation it's something that's built in terms of promises that are consistent, what that consistency means. And it's so hard to build, takes years to build, and so easy to destroy.
Yeah.
You know, it takes seconds to destroy. And so I think,
I mean, I kind of relate reputation to like trust too. You know?
totally.
And I feel like once trust is broken, that's like really, really hard to get back.
Yeah.
So I try to. I think I hold. I think I kind of relate it to like family name too,
Sure.
which is kind of like the more traditional way to like think about it. But I always prided myself growing up. I was like, and like my family would say this, my friends, my brother would say this, like I'd never like gave a fuck what anyone said.
Sure.
Or, like thought about me.
Right.
But like I always like would put in 100% work, like in my work ethic, and like always produce a good like product or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I took pride in my whatever I did.
Yeah.
Sure. Like work. I started to realize I care a lot about what people think, and that's why
we do.
I work so hard,
Yeah,
and do things to the way I do it. So, it's fuck. I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to keep people happy. You know what I mean? In a way. Which is like, which is not the greatest, because then I'm relying on other people's, approval and happiness to fuel mine.
Yeah. Yes. This is the thing that I have trouble with reputation.
Yeah.
This is I think the conflict for me with reputation. It's like I used to care a whole lot.
Right.
A whole lot. About what people think, and I would construct a version of myself to appease and to just to receive love.
Right.
And for the reputation to be like a good one, an upstanding one that people, I don't know, love me and like are like, oh, he's the kind of person I want to be around.
Right.
And I did that my entire childhood, my entire, teenage years, my early 20s, mid 20s, and I'm getting into my late 20s and fucking on the edge of 30. And I feel like I'm just starting to realize that I'm bringing reputation, the word reputation, what it means to me, which is like how people perceive me, what my brand is, down on the hierarchy, because it's that. I don't want other people to, I don't know, hold my value with what they think of me, because it's that no control thing.
Right.
I don't really truly have control over. Thank God. I don't want control over another person, but like we don't have control over what each other says and does.
Yeah.
You cannot like the way I chew gum or drink water, and that could turn you off, and you could be dumb with me.
You're a little too tall when you come in for this part.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. So I don't know. I got a problem with reputation. Not a problem with it. I don't want to keep it higher on the hierarchy for myself anymore. If I have a good reputation, wow, awesome.
Yeah.
If someone is upset with me and my reputation is shot a bit, I don't think I'd be murdered unless I did something terrible, which I hope I never do.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the many. But at least in the forefront of my mind, it doesn't, I don't lead with that anymore.
I think you put a very big importance on presence. Right?
Yes. Yeah, truly. Yes.
And I think that's what builds the reputation.
See, so there's no control over it anyway.
There's this, you have control in terms of like, here you are being present and genuinely connecting with someone.
Right.
And I think the taking all of those moments together creates a reputation of someone who's thoughtful, someone who engages, someone who, is present in the moment. And that creates the reputation. And it's done in different ways, and it's what people hear. And
so there's no avoiding it. You
can't avoid it. You cannot avoid it. Everybody has their own perception.
Yeah.
But I think what you have to do is moderate, and you moderate between certain elements of honesty, things that you have to share, and then the realization that you don't have to share everything about yourself if you don't want to, and you could present something in a certain way.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will say things to me where they'll like, "Oh, you're so composed," and this like that, and it's like, you don't really know what's happening on the inside.
Yes,
you know.
never
And
know.
maybe in this instance, I am very composed.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. It doesn't mean be fake all the time. But it means like, we can protect ourselves in certain instances. We don't have to be so vulnerable all the time, especially living in a city like this.
Yeah.
Somebody sat next to me on the train today. He pulled out a bottle of vodka, starts saying gibberish, and then he says, "Get the fuck away from me." And I'm like, "Do you want me to move over here? I can if you'd like me to." And he's like, "No, get away from me." And I'm like, "I can go if you want." And it was just this weird back and forth. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then I finally moved away, and he was like, "Yeah." It's not about you. Like it's crazy, dude. It's so you can't like, it would suck if you were so vulnerable and like you were used to taking in like an incredible amount all the time. That would ruin your day. For me, like another fucking guy.
Yeah.
And I felt badly in that moment. And I was like, man, like I really hope that you get to express the truth that you want to, have the people listen to you that you want to listen, and find some kind of peace, because you don't have it.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. But sometimes that honesty, like there's that like very easy narrative to hop onto. Like, be yourself and like just be honest and all that stuff. But it's like, you can't be honest 100% of the time and move through life. Civility prevents you from that. Politeness prevents you from that. You know,
Societal norms do not allow for that.
Which is fine.
Yes.
It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean you're being like, oh, you're a faker, you're inauthentic. Like, you can play a little bit of the game and continue to move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it that keeps people from killing themselves. But finding like an ability to moderate that with the truth and your honesty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What?
That's why you're drunk at the West screaming in Alex's face, like, we got to take care of each other. We got to,
dude. That's
that was my truth, dude. That's when it comes out.
yes. Dude.
Oh, we need to get through these because you got 70 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them are from Ariel, and 1 of them is from me to make sure that it still works. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
He asked what it was like growing up in Miami.
You wanted to talk about this?
Yeah. It's a huge place. You know, it's very spread out. Miami-Dade County is humongous. Filled with a bunch of different like kind of city townships.
Yep.
Like my ID would say Miami, but the second someone is from Miami, then you follow it up with, okay, where are you from?
Yeah.
And I would say Kendall, which is different than Pinecrest or South Miami or Coral Gables or like all the way into like South Beach, which is like the kind of an extension of Times Square to New York, right? Imagine if somebody thought like Times Square was the entirety of Manhattan. Like that's kind of what South Beach is to a degree.
Got you.
It's an absurd place, but all of that stuff is accessible.
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely influences your, your time there. You're driving out to the beach and stuff like that. We'd go to class, we'd have a break, or we'd not go to class. Sorry, and like show up to. There's this amazing place called Matheson Hammock. It was a small kind of like man-made lagoon park, and we just go kayaking and hang out, and like it's one of my favorite places in the world.
Are you kidding me?
It's really cool.
Wow.
I'm out here riding bikes on mountains.
But
Going to the mall. That was the big one.
Going to the mall.
Oh,
We would do
yeah.
the same thing.
Oh, okay.
We'd go to the mall. We'd hang out. Mall rats.
Mm-hmm.
I try to think because like when I think of Miami, I just think of
All
park.
white outfits and
Dude.
what do you
Cubans
think?
partying,
Cubans,
shirts
Cuban
open,
food.
Exactly.
cigars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It exists.
Was that like I mean, yeah, I guess Miami's probably very big. Like you're saying.
Huge.
Yeah.
So it's probably a small part of it.
It's a small part of it if you're doing it day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the same way, like,
I've heard like there's like it's pretty dangerous though, right?
there are parts of it that can be for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so Art Basel is like, Art Basel, like, centers around Wynwood, which is this new kind of area in what is now Midtown Miami, which didn't really exist. There was downtown Miami, which was more of like a financial hub. And then there was North Miami, which was like Hialeah and like much more Hispanic areas. And it's a really cool place to be. I think to like experience culture within like the island that is Miami to the rest of Florida, which I'm thankful for, because I have to remember that I'm from Florida. And, and I don't want to dog on Florida, but like there's always something weird going on.
Florida man. Was that Florida man?
Florida man.
Yeah.
Every time I've been to Florida, kind of Florida.
It's super strange. But it is a late stage gentrification, a lot like Williamsburg, in that it was like warehouses in a not so nice place to be. The artists came in and lived there, and it was kind of conducive to that. The restaurants and the bars followed, and the people followed for the art. And then the apartment buildings started going up, and now it's like it's crazy. There's so many people there.
Wow.
You know, so that's how that stuff kind of turns around. But
in there, did you discover acting and stuff while you were younger there, or
while I was at, it was. I mean,
how'd
I'd
you get
always
introduced to maybe that?
Can I get you off before we get into this?
please, yeah.
I wanted to go through some Florida man headlines while we're talking Florida man. Is that okay? Okay. Florida man versus the food chain. Florida man accused of giving beer to an alligator. That's one. Florida man nearly loses leg and life to alligator while hunting hogs. Florida woman.
I could have known that person. Dude.
Florida woman uses machete to save venomous coral snake from a cat.
Wow.
What the
Just chopped it.
I don't even know how to pronounce
That's
that.
all like Florida people against nature, like let alone them like each other, which is its
what the
own set of craziness.
This is just fucking.
Everyone's out to get
crazy.
each other.
dude, it's wild because it really is like a city carved out of a swamp.
Yeah.
So like there's Miami, and then there's Big Cypress, which is this huge national park in like the Everglades.
Big Cypress.
You know, which is it's a crazy swamp with a bunch of shit.
Slice of pizza convinced Florida man to end police standoff, and that's where we're gonna
talk about that. Like
end on
Andrea
that.
used to say that stuff all the time when she's
Florida man
talking.
shit?
Not Florida man shit, no, but she would say like when you're personalizing your work, like I don't care if it's a Big Mac. Does it for you. All right. This guy's
last piece of cake in the fridge. Someone ate it before you got home.
that's honest. That guy's got 5 people at gunpoint, and all he wants is a slice of pizza, and that's real as fuck, dude. Like that's
that's real, dude.
I don't know, man.
You throw Florida man on it though, and so okay. Sorry for cutting you off. How did
No,
you?
no, no.
How did you acting? How did you find it?
What a
we
weird
talked
road.
about college. We said your friend had you come in for that scene.
He wants me to go somewhere and talk about this and tell them like he discovered me. He's so excited.
Shout out
to him. He knows who he is. But because he doesn't want me to do
I got you.
that. I've always been in some kind of performance category when I was younger.
Word.
I sort of tried to play sports a bit, but like really didn't, and then got into martial arts. And part of it was because like I was young, I was really shy, and I was like hiding behind my dad's leg at parties and stuff, where he was this loquacious, wants to talk to
What
people.
is that? What was loquacious?
He's like a very well spoken, like
Gotcha.
he's just like a charming fellow. Like, hey, I'm like Dr. Bonner and this and that, and
Gotta get loquacious, man.
yeah. No, he likes to talk, and that's what he's a psychologist. My dad's a private practice psychologist. He's been practicing for like 30 years, and he's a great dad, really good psychologist, amazing dad, and amazing man. I'm very thankful for him.
Big shout out.
Big shout out. Yeah, he's got all of them. Him and my mom are both great. And I was really shy, and he got me in martial arts. And there was a big exhibitionist aspect to the martial arts. We'd go and perform somewhere. Some of it was sparring, not all of it. A lot of it was just forms and combinations.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my first like go into like performing in front of people. And then it was also music. And it was, I played like a bunch of different instruments. I played the saxophone. I had a dillied little bit on piano.
on
You
the
just
piano.
ripped, before the podcast started. You just ripped some John Legend as if he was John Legend in the room.
That's the go-to, man.
That's the go-to.
The John Legend?
You got the one. They like it. They like it for sure. The people back home, they love it. You got to do it for the people.
People love it.
And then I started performing a little more in that regard, and I joined. I had a few people like push me into joining show choir. I'm not sure why I was resistant to that, and then ended up as the president of show choir in high school, which was its own weird thing. We wear bow ties and cummerbunds and do like a box step and dance like medleys, and that was my first kind of like on stage thing.
Performance.
Yeah, and then started singing some more, and I had a few gigs out of that, and so I felt good about the thrill of being like out and about in like a performance. I thought that was really cool and exciting. And but I never thought to do anything with it. And to be honest, I had an aversion, I think, to drama as a whole when I was younger, because I thought it was a lot of what sometimes people do and act today, where it's like this shown, this put on, this like Jeremy, you're not going to go to the dance because you've got a date with me, and like this whole like weird
Like
fucking
3-camera sitcom type.
dude, and like it, and like the plays in school, like I didn't feel like I could be in that room and a part of it, and it just felt strange and put on, and I felt that all the way through. And then I did this thing with my brother where this guy, a film minor, asked me to act in like a directing actors course for him. They needed actors to come in, and then they would be evaluated on the notes that they gave to the actors. It didn't really matter who did it. And so everybody in their class was getting these like actors. They were holding castings and stuff like that. And this guy said, it'd be really funny if you and your brother came in and did a scene from This Is Our Youth where you just dog on him for like 10 minutes. And it was like the first thing I'd ever done, and it was awful, but it wasn't awful enough to where people were like, hey, that was cool. And Joey, again, was such a sport, and we filmed it eventually.
Wow.
And it's somewhere, and it really is bad. But Joey is so authentic in it, and I think he could do this for sure.
Yeah.
Joey's great. But then out of that, somebody else was shooting something, and they said, "Hey, I want you to do a reshoot of Reservoir Dogs. We're gonna rent a warehouse and do the scene where somebody gets their ear cut off, right? That the guy's like sitting in there." And I went in for the cop who gets his ear cut off, and I remember I was getting a facial in Miami and like had all this like steam in my face, and I got this phone call that kept calling me, and it was this girl saying, "Hey, you got the part," and I was like, "Oh my god, thanks." And it was really weird.
Yeah.
And then after that, and it was a really cool experience, and like they were a great team. They're still doing stuff now, and I have that somewhere which I can show you, and no one
I would
else.
love to see
Yeah,
it.
hell
So-
yeah.
It's crazy. And then I just started going out for everything that they posted in the comm school, and I would pass by it on my way to class. Didn't really enjoy what I was doing in school, but I had 2 years of school left, and was like, I need to give a shit at least to demonstrate that I can do something if I'm going to get a job somewhere. If this is what I have to show, and I joined like I got President's Honor Roll, and I got all this stuff, and I was doing shit, and then I kept going out for these roles. I got them. And it was small stuff and all of it. Like, you see stuff that you did and you kind of cringe.
Oh yeah.
But I'm so thankful for all the people that I did stuff with.
Oh, me
and,
too. For sure. Me too.
I'm thankful that they like bet on me to do this stuff. And
Isn't that huge?
yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. It's awesome.
There's power there.
And then at a certain point I was like, fuck it. I was coming up here anyway. I might as well try and do this.
Yeah.
And then out of that, I had a really, she's kind of instrumental in all of this. This friend of mine who did the MFA program at Columbia, and they had the same deal where it was like directing actors. They need people to come in. They would just kind of grab anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
They didn't want you to fuck up their class, but as long as you could put a script down and show up, you could do it.
Yeah.
And so that was like a free scene study for maybe 6 months.
6 months.
I was going in maybe for like 3 or 4 months at least, but like every now and then I'd get called in to do a scene with somebody, and they'd send it to me like 3 days before. I'd have to work all the way through it. I was working in Midtown at the time, so I would close the bar by 4. I'd get back home by like 5. I'd sleep for like 2 hours. I'd wake up to get to Columbia by 10 from Williamsburg, which I fucking hated, but that's just at the time it's what you do. Like I had no idea.
That's what you do.
I'd go in, I would do a scene that I would feel like super unprepared about.
Yeah.
And I had one professor who liked my work, which I'm thankful for. He asked me to do a scene study at a studio called T. Schreiber.
T. Schreiber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started doing work. This guy, Peter Miner, is his name. And shout out to Peter Miner. He was this amazing director with a wealth of experience, and he tells these stories and stuff like that. And the short version is that I did that for a bit. He said I needed some training, which I obviously super did. He's like, but I like your stuff. You should be auditioning, but I think a Meisner program would do you well. And then I was courting the West to try and get a job there. I was in there like almost every night, talking to like the manager and like talking to people, and I ended up getting a job there, and then found out about Playhouse West.
Hell yeah.
And so I went through the program there, and now I've just been trying to work on stuff.
Whoa.
Damn, man. That's crazy.
That's when we met.
Yeah, and that's when
I
we
love
met.
that.
Crazy. What a ride.
Dude, it's been a weird ride, and it's just starting out.
Yeah,
it's
just
like,
starting out.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so easy to be like, well, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Did that acting thing in New York.
That
like,
was some
going
chapter.
back to Enterprise Rent-A-Car and like start to take baby aspirin. you know?
That's fucking great, dude.
But
It is a ride. It is a ride.
It's
when you look
crazy.
back at least at the point you're at now, in the grand scheme of things, when you look back 10 years down the road, it's going to be a wild journey too. But from where you're standing right now, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude. It makes you feel better when you run into someone from high school who's
Yes,
like,
yes.
partner at Webster and Cohen, and like
Killing it.
They're just killing it, and like,
Yeah.
shout out to Cool Runnings, by the way. And I got you a job at Webster and Cohen, and you're just like, I'm insane. Like, I just, some dude just pooped in the bathroom on the floor, and like, you're getting ready for SantaCon, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh God.
But then you do this weird acting thing, and you're just like, I don't know if it's God, I don't know if it's somebody, but thank somebody.
Yes.
Thank all the people along the way. And
Hell yeah.
there's still a lot to go.
That's beautiful, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I would love to fucking. There's more from Ariel, right?
Yeah, we can start wrapping up. Get some questions in.
Get all. Make sure we get them all in.
All
I can't
20 of
believe-
Ariel's questions.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. No,
He blew
just-
you up.
Oh, a friend of mine asked pancakes or waffles.
Waffles.
Finally, we're getting to the hard part of this.
Great question.
Yeah, these really deep.
Wow.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah. Everything's been just
Pancakes or waffles?
pancakes or waffles.
I think waffles, man.
Waffles?
I'm growing up. Growing up, though.
So you're growing up.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm growing up, dude.
Somehow I know. I love
There's
that.
a point of view there.
I feel like you got a waffle machine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you start making waffles.
I feel like
I haven't
that was
done it yet,
The most
but,
exciting part of a
yeah.
waffle was the waffle machine, not the waffle itself.
You ever go on vacation or something? Oh,
I don't
bro.
eat waffles, dude.
There was a
What are you
waffle
saying,
maker.
bro?
You don't like
When was
waffles?
the last time I ate a waffle?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I had to be honest.
Dude, remember Eggo waffles, though?
Yeah.
What?
That's the shit.
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
Make peanut butter jelly on a...
Yeah, and it'd be like a
Oh, I
little
missed
frozen in
that.
the middle still. Like you didn't heat it up enough, but you still had to eat it.
You
Yeah.
still crunched on that waffle.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
That was life.
Hell yeah.
Soggy waffle, dude.
I do a pancake.
Pancake?
I love pancakes.
Just to go against this.
You
gotta
just
go
just to
pancake.
create some conflict.
I got you. That's fine.
Classic.
Dude, some blueberry pancakes.
Okay.
Mess me up. I'll get right back in bed.
Yeah,
wrap
that's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
day.
I'll die. I'll fucking die.
I can't tell you the last time I had a pancake or a waffle, man.
Really?
Isn't that sad? Yeah.
It's because all you
don't
need
know.
is like air
Yeah.
and the water.
I've
air
got
and
my
Red Bull, dude.
Water. What else do we got?
No, that's it.
That's it? That's all?
my questions.
Okay.
3 of them were from Ariel, I think, just testing out the medium. We got it.
Just
all right?
we got
You
it,
understand.
bro. We get it, Ariel.
Jesus.
You're here
All right?
with us.
You are here.
You took over the fucking episode from
Don't
Alex.
make it about you, dude. That's what he does.
He's always just
like,
making it about him. He's got abs and just for whatever.
He's just like listening and the most like engaging and like you know, person who makes you feel so comfortable.
Yeah,
but, like,
super
really, it's just a
charming,
ruse
very, very
to like
sweet.
make it about him.
Yeah,
What a dog.
That's your reputation. That's what reputation is. I got 3 quotes.
Okay.
Just,
hell
just
yeah.
rattle them off.
Yeah.
We can talk about them. We don't have to.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius. None of us have much time, and yet you act as if things were eternal. The way you fear and long for them. Before long, darkness. And whoever buries you mourned in their turn.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel after every single quote. I'm like,
Yeah. I can retort with a quote.
Yeah. Hit it.
I think it's Raoul Dahl. I don't know. But it was something along the lines of like, there's never enough time to do all of the nothing that you want to do.
Oh.
Which I love.
Wow.
And I kind of love in the sense that like, because you'll never be satisfied or satiated by all the nothing that you cannot possibly do.
Yeah.
Why don't we just give up on the nothing? You know, sometimes we definitely need breaks, right? Self-care
Yeah.
and like
Yes.
step away. But there are certain times where it kind of exists in the middle where it's like, well, I could do out and do this crazy thing, but I'm going to sit at home and play my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I love how it calls it nothing.
Nothing.
Because it's nothing.
it's nothing, dude.
It's literally. I feel like shit.
No. And that's not.
No, I'm kidding.
if everything was forever, nothing. There would. I don't know because we don't live this, but I assume life would have no meaning
Yeah.
Yeah.
if it was forever.
Consequence, man.
Yeah,
Consequence
yeah.
makes that
It's
stuff.
like there's that balance
Yeah.
of that nothingness highlights the
Present.
things that actually happen.
Right here.
What we got? What's next?
The things that go unsaid are often the things that eat at you, whether because you didn't get to have your say, or because the other person never got to hear you and really wanted to.
Yeah, they are.
That's Celeste.
That might be why I'm an actor, or at least why I act. That quote.
Wow.
It's because I think in certain instances, in the way that and we talked earlier at the beginning of this about like indemnity and trying to make yourself whole. I think there have been certain times where I haven't been able to express as much as what I want to say.
I feel the same.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think people like artists, like they have something to say. You have to have a voice. If you're saying nothing, then you're just fucking. Thank God only the fart sound goes through over audio. Listen to this on audio. But like, it's because I get to say whatever it is that I want to say as honestly as possible. And that's what I'm working on into the next year is not feeling like I'm fucking off the work by making it my own.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like it's this, like, is the work right or is the work wrong? There's a right way to do it.
Fuck, yeah.
And I'm like, it's a war on right. Like, no, this is the way that, like, I do it that doesn't violate. I got these rules, okay, but in that, like, it's going to be the way that you don't even see. So I want to be able to say all the things, because the things that aren't heard,
Go unsaid. Yes.
even the things that you say, but
Yes.
the things that aren't heard,
Yes.
they live in you. They eat at you.
Absolutely do.
You know, some things can be left there, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to be an open book, but the things that you need someone to be heard, or the things that you need to be heard by someone, you have to find a channel for that.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so, like, fortunate to have all these different mediums to express, whether it's painting or art,
Music.
or the non-conventional. Like, when you bring art into science, you know, people do these crazy things.
Yes.
That has to become art at a certain point. Into sales, into bartending, you know, it's just.
I think that is the thing that motivates the thing in me to act too the most is the things going unsaid. The things that it's exactly what you're saying. I can't. I don't think there's anything else in this world that hurts me more than having to or feeling that I can't express a truth because of a circumstance or a cultural norm or whatever. Yeah. And you're right.
Or the inability of someone sitting next to you
not being able. I can't hear it.
They can't hear it. They can't hear.
They can't hear me, and I can't hear their truth either.
Yeah.
But we both know.
Yeah.
Like something about that grates at me, man. I can't.
But that's why you look at Picasso and you see something, and like he's not using words, but for some reason you maybe you think you know him, but you know one of his ideas.
Yeah.
He said something to you in that.
He said something. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That moves me the most. If you, whatever, move on.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. People run from rain but sit in bathtubs full of water. Charles Bukowski. I think that's pretty funny.
I don't know. I like it. I also see like the comments immediately following that. Like, because we're wearing fucking clothes in one. And, But I think it creates
cold.
Context is important, you know? Because I'm here to be I'm here to get clean. I'm going to be in the bathtub and relax. And
Sure.
I don't really want to be in the cold rain. But, you know, I remember there was one day in college where we were walking back from the library, and it was really cool because we got placed in the international dorm. So all of our friends were from everywhere else in the world.
That's really cool.
Which was awesome. It was a really cool intersection of people. And we got caught in the rain, and we took our shoes off, we rolled up our pants, and we just fucking walked it. And just kind of like, you know, it was like a really weird hippie moment.
Yeah.
Like dancing.
Yeah.
Do that, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you can. Just about presence. It doesn't have to be because it's like, oh, it's raining, that should be bad. Like, what if you could make it something different? Yeah. And that's the control that we can like impose at least a little bit on our circumstance.
Right.
You know? Right. We can't control the rain, but we can control what we do with it.
T-shirt. Dude, T-shirt. This episode is gonna be called T-shirt. There's so many fucking quotable shirts to be made, man. We got
us to print them, man.
Get ready.
We're gonna get mad.
No.
Somebody's gonna be flossing.
You're our PR guy, dude.
Well,
no.
We gotta get started.
He's a part of this now. This is our thing. Oh man. Anything else for Alex before we wrap? We gotta anything. I want people to go watch Stay Inside. That's on Instagram, right? IGTV.
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
I want people to go watch that.
The full episode is there now too, and
the full episode. Cool.
When he pitched it in smaller episodes, which is cool. Yeah. But now you can watch it as like one kind of banged out thing.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then on to the next thing.
Dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's enjoy the journey together.
Yay. I want to throw in one thing.
Oh,
because yesterday I thought it's not that great, but I thought about castles, dude.
Castles?
You know castles?
Yeah.
Dude, just look at these castles. This is on Earth, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
What's going on here?
Uh-oh.
That's what's coming from me. I walk out of here. I just like
it's dangerous.
Just look at that.
In the middle of what is that, the ocean?
Yeah. Or like on the, on like the peninsula.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a castle like that. I think I want to just start going to places like this. You know?
Yes. Travel, baby.
Yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful.
That's one of the. If you guys are watching, just check out these castles because it's beautiful. You're not feeling this?
No,
it's crazy. Sometimes
it just
I'm feeling it. I don't know. I want to.
No, I love it. I
just
love
throw
it.
it in.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
sad
Like these
sometimes.
are.
Do they
from,
make
like,
you sad?
A little bit.
Why? Why is that?
Sometimes I think about the disparity in people and like what kind of dictated that. Like the castle to me represents an idea, and like
You're right. You're right about that.
It's a disparity of wealth and access. You know, you had someone who built it. Like this isn't like a log cabin and like a you know. My grandfather built this house.
This is literally on a mountain.
It's on a mountain. Like
Slaves just slaving away. Probably
people died.
Serfs.
Building this thing, and like I was in I think I was in Siena, in Italy. There's like a Duomo, like a big church there.
Yeah.
And it was so ornate with gold all over the place.
yeah.
And to be in this church and look at this stuff and be like, man, like someone like just like me at a very base level woke up one day and had to go and put fucking gold on the ceiling in here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a very like it feels like a I don't know, kind of a trivial thought, but like that's so powerful on an individual level. Every stone didn't just happen there. It didn't get carved out of this mountain. Like what an incredible thing.
It just made me think about like, I don't know, just how long this place that we live day by day. We don't really think about how time goes on.
Sure.
Of like how like there's these old structures, you know, that were once like a royal family like lived in this. Right. And like, I don't know, like whether it was good or bad or like this is part of the history of our, you know, and we don't really like think about it.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You know, like
you're right.
And if like, I don't know, I feel like I just want to see like something, you know what I mean? Like go there and like, I don't know, experience. Maybe you'll feel something.
This is a history thing, but I love history, by the way. I'm fucking fascinated by this shit. But there was a Stonehenge under Lake Michigan. Did you hear this?
No.
This is news. This is breaking news.
Oh, really?
There's like a Stonehenge formation at the bottom of Lake Michigan.
What?
Is that not crazy?
What the fuck?
How did we not
Check
find
it
this
out
before?
Can you look it up?
Probably, yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
No,
I'm keeping
don't
you
be.
here for fucking. But
Dude, I got nowhere to be.
this is we'll be at the West after this. I'm gonna live there, dude. Just gonna live there. I'm gonna have 3 chest hairs just fucking hanging out at the end of the bar. It's like I love another one, Alex.
Whoa.
You've had enough.
You've had enough, sir. You had to cut a lot of people off, or no?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ton?
It's just I mean,
Any
not like
aggressive ones? Any ones that are like, no?
you know what's amazing is that if you remove your ego from it and it becomes about what can happen and what cannot happen, and you give someone an opportunity not to be an
Am I doing
asshole,
it?
10 times out of 10, someone will take that opportunity. Maybe 9 times out of 10. They'll take that opportunity. You'll just be like, hey man, this is what's happening. It's not about me telling you what you can and cannot do. It kind of is.
Yeah.
But it's not about me judging you. It's just like, you can't do this here.
Yeah.
And they'll go,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, look at that.
See, check this out. So this is at the bottom of Lake Michigan, man. They just found it.
A mastodon?
That's a whatchamacallit? That's
A mastodon.
Yeah. Mastodon.
I mean, those are kind of small, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a
That's still
formation.
Like a
dude.
structure like that. Yeah.
imagine the things that we don't know.
A lot of civilizations before
Incredible,
us, man.
man.
That's
Yep.
crazy, actually.
Yep.
Just this painting underneath.
Yeah.
I just think that's wild.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all, dude.
Right?
Looks
I
kind of
can't
good.
draw that.
Yeah. There's some teenagers last week.
There's our little history segment.
Some underwater cranes.
We'll teach him.
Yeah.
Dude, banana on the wall. Dude.
Yeah, the banana on the wall, dude.
Full circle.
It's art. Do you want to shout out anything before we go? Anything?
Yeah. Anything last words?
Thank you guys.
Oh,
Last words before that
wow.
piano comes down, man.
Yeah, dude.
piano about to pull the string.
No, man, it's great that you guys are doing this. I'm
Thanks,
happy to
thank
be
you.
here. So
Cool. We're happy to have you, man. You're welcome back anytime. And you're part of it now. So
I'm
it's
part
PR.
of it.
It's
Yeah,
PR.
Now I got to show up for work.
You're working.
Jesus.
Do we tell you your salary is $0? We don't have any money to give you. I'll get you coffee.
What about that T-shirt money?
That's when we make that happen. That's when
Yeah.
Get Facebooked out of
I'll
this
take
thing.
care.
I think you started Facebook. I started. You didn't.
You'll get a free T-shirt, and that's it.
You are your podcast.
And that's the podcast, and that's episode 46 of the podcast
Whoa.
with Alex Bonner. Amazing. That was actually,
Where can we
that was
find him?
beautiful.
Where can we find
Alex
Alex?
Bonner, where can you find
I'm on Instagram. You can call me for stuff. At ALXBONNER. at Alex Bonner
Hell yeah.
on Instagram.
Any website, anything?
There is an alexbonneractor.com.
And we'll have it all in the description if you're looking for Alex. Boom. There we go.
Hire him because he's the shit.
Yes. Amazing person, as you have experienced.
No.
And well, thank you guys. Episode 46. Find the podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Anchor.fm, YouTube. Leave a rating, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you're thinking. www.youareherepodcast.co. We cannot afford the M. And thank you so much. This is Mike. I'm signing out.
This is Dave, and I love y'all.
Oh, this is Alex. And see you later.
I love that last one.